like to share the concern of our colleague. In my district, many of my constituents have always approached me, and they ask me if we can revisit this juvenile law because precisely of the observations made by our colleague it's not only instances where minors are being used for the commission of crime, but minors themselves on their own, knowing that they have this kind of protection, special treatment, they on their own pursue a life of crime. For example, in drug pushing, cell phone snatching, they act as lookouts, they become gangs, burglars. Because of their size, they're able to, they're very nimble. They can climb up and then squeeze their body, their small bodies, into little openings and be able to burglarize homes, to the detriment of the community and the society who are helpless in addressing this concern. Of course, they know that there is a humanitarian aspect here, but we also have to consider the public order, the public interest aspect. I think all of us have experienced having a problem kid in our school. I had experiences like that. Maybe at a very young age, a guy would be a bully already, or maybe an extortionist. And in many instances, I would like to say that some of these kids graduated and become full-time, high-caliber criminals that ended up in Muntinlupa, ended up as big-time criminals. Maybe because they were so protected. There wasn't this kind of a law before. But during that time, they were also treated with leniency by the community. But the leniency, instead of helping them, aggravated their situation. So I hope that this concern is going to be addressed. For example, this matter of undergo intensive intervention program supervised by the local social welfare and development officer. I'm referring to this amendment entitled Section 20A, Repetition of Offenses. What does this mean? Intensive intervention program supervised by the local social welfare and development officer. Basic clarification.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Your Honor. When we say intensive counseling or interventions, it means that the child in conflict with the law will have a program of rehabilitation. For example, it will take from 3 months to a year, and then it is supervised with the involvement of the families, the communities, and if assuming that the child also is in school, then we will have the teacher participate in this program. And there is a timeline for every activity, and there are certain indicators for which to evaluate whether or not the child has improved or not. And then there's also a provision assuming that the intervention program may not be complied in certain period, then there's also an appropriate mechanisms that will be instituted to ensure that the child will be known to him that he is still accountable to the commission, to the offense that he has committed. And it also includes a multidisciplinary intervention, so we would seek the participation also of even psychologists, and in cases where it will be proven that the child has a very deep traumatic experiences when he or she was a child, then this should be considered. And if I may share, Mr. Chair, Your Honor, that recently there was already a study conducted actually on violence against children in school. And I agree with you, Your Honor, that one of the main causes of violence of children in school is through the children committed by the children themselves. Example of which is the bullying. And this is already one of the studies that we are using as a reference in crafting programs, especially for the Department of Education, so that at that instant they should be able to already arrest those behaviors of children being manifested even when they are in school.
Yeah, but we have cases, for example, of legal fraternities. Already, fraternities used to be in college, but now they're in high school already. And some of these fraternities are very notorious in the community because they're like gangs already to protect each other and to inflict violence on other fraternity members. So this is a problem. There are instances where the victim is killed. So we have a family that is very angry, but very helpless. Or rape is committed. So we're talking here of permanent injuries to members of the society. Now, how is this going to be addressed? Because this might result in an escalation of violence. Because the aggrieved families may feel that until an eye is collected from the one who perpetrated it, there is no justice. They look at this as an encumbrance in the prosecution of justice. So would this also address the victim families? Rape victims, homicide or murder victims?
Answer.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. In the same House Bill 6077, there's now a provision that takes care of providing assistance to victims of offenses committed by children, which is in fact was not present in the existing law, Your Honor.
So we're not talking of assistance alone. We're
Yes.
talking of also a psychiatric care to the victims, the parents,
In fact,
who
that's
may be thinking of violence in order to get even.
it's specifically stated here, sir, that the victim of the offense committed by a child and the victim's family shall be provided appropriate assistance and psychosocial interventions, and that takes care of the psychiatric treatment